right, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to another great episode on your favorite political talk show, The Truth, with Ben Jokes. Now, yesterday I made a remark about a bill to create 37 more local government areas in Lagos State, and it sparked a debate in the comment section. Now, I would like to make my position on that matter clearer. As it stands, Lagos State has 20 local governments and Kano has 44 local governments. Jigawa State, which was created out of Kano State in 1991, has 27 local governments, more local governments than Lagos State. That is ridiculous. So, does Lagos deserve more local governments? Absolutely yes. But the truth is, 37 more local governments is what they are trying to create, and I think that is on the high side. Kano has 44 local governments. That is a criminal number too. Kano should not have more than 30 local governments. Lagos can have 35, 37. Jigawa has 27, but for me, 15 would have been okay for Jigawa. They are all inflating these numbers because of FAC allocations, and so that the political appointments can go round. So what Tinubu is saying in essence by saying Lagos should have 37 more is, let's make a mess of everything. If Kano has 44, then Lagos should have 57. But is this how a country should go? This is where my own criticism is coming from. These political games won't get us anywhere. Why can't we get real and fix this nation? One day, a northerner will occupy Aso Rock and he will add 20 more local governments to Kano State. Then, when it is the turn of a southerner, he will add 40 local governments to Rivers State or Enugu. And we'll keep going around in circles. What a confused country. Now, let us look at the top stories. First is that update from the Revenue Office that shook the entire country. And next is that disgraceful update coming out of Japan. As we speak, Tinubu is in Japan to attend an international summit. And guess what? The Nigerian delegation that is supposed to occupy the Nigerian booth and speak before Tinubu's arrival is nowhere to be found. Other countries are on ground, but before the whole world, the Nigerian delegation has embarrassed Tinubu. Before I show you details of these top stories and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this video. Now, this video speaks about vote buying, and I have a word for Nigerians on this matter that some people may not agree with. Watch this video.
On the basis of post-traumatic political response to the economic environment, people are hit by poverty. You know, if I take 4,000 naira, that can prepare for me a small pot of soup. But does it address...
That may last for days.
That will last for days. Does it address the fundamental economic problem that I'm confronted with, for example? It does not. So we must begin to think through our politics, our democracy, the type of economic programs, policies that we in place. You know, if society is built around economic progress and growth, to my mind, no electorate will be thinking of taking pittance as 4,000, 2,000, in some cases 500 naira, to exercise their civic right to vote. But you see, the Nigerian elite class, you know, has a way of determining the responses of electorates during elections. And that's why increasingly, since May 2023, we have had the most shambolic economic policies that any country can experience for 3 years of no growth. So in essence, with the language that people speak in the virtual space, what politicians have succeeded to do is to weaponize poverty in our country. Use poverty as a weapon against people's choices. And
So has it affected the rationalism of the voter? The poverty not allowing the voter to think rationally and act rationally?
The question of capacity and rationality of the voter will differ from person to person.
It's relative.
You know, it's relative.
You heard that. A lot has been said about the ruling party weaponizing poverty in Nigeria. People have said that Nigerians are so poor that on election day, when APC gives them 20,000 naira, they will sell their votes. And those who say these things try to paint a helpless situation for the voters, and they attempt to heap the entire blame on politicians. Today, I want to challenge that. That a man is poor doesn't mean that the man is mad. Poverty does not make you a lunatic. And on that note, anyone who sells his vote to Tinubu or APC in 2027 has himself solely to blame. You were buying a bag of rice, 8,500 naira. Buhari of the APC came in and he left it at 32,000 naira. Tinubu of the APC took over from Buhari, and now you are buying that same bag of rice at 80,000 naira, between 80,000 naira to 100,000 naira. And then you get an opportunity to send the APC out of power and you sell your vote for 20,000 naira, and you claim it is because you are so poor. Who made you poor? Is it not the same guys? No, it is not poverty. Poverty cannot make you mad. You chose to sell your votes. Okay, why didn't you demand to sell your vote for 500,000 naira so that you can at least settle yourself for some months out of the 4 years that you are selling to them? Oh, you know that they won't be able to pay every other person 500,000 naira for their votes, right? So you are deliberately making it easy for politicians to buy your votes. Then you turn around and start blaming politicians. I reaffirm, and this is the message that I'm taking to the rural areas for my rural campaigns in 2027. Anyone who sells his or her votes to APC and Tinubu in 2027 is as evil as Boko Haram and every other crime sponsored by the APC. Point blank, period. Now, let us look at the top stories. First is that update from the Revenue Office that shook Nigerians. And next is that disgraceful update from the International Summit in Japan. The Nigeria delegation to the summit abandons Tinubu. Let's start by taking that update from the Revenue Office. Look at how the papers reported it. RMAFC, malls pay rise for Tinubu, Shettima, Akpabio amid hunger and hardship. The federal government, through the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, has hinted at plans to increase the salaries of Bola Tinubu, Kashim Shettima, and Senate President Godswill Akpabio and other political office holders. Is there any need to go further? Of course, there is no need. I am very happy with this update. As we speak, some civil servants are yet to begin receiving the paltry 70,000 naira minimum wage. Retired police officers and retired soldiers have protested over and over again, blocked the secretariat. They said they are not being paid their entitlements. And instead of seeing updates on how the government has started paying them, or how the government has announced a date for them to come and do their final some sort of verification or something, what we are hearing is that the executives are moving to increase their own salaries, monies that they don't even need. The same people who have not been able to account for 2 years of non-payment of petrol subsidy. According to them, they said they've not been paying subsidy for over 2 years now. They have not been able to point at anything that they have done to the people. And look at our debt profile. Go and take a look at our loans. You see what these people have done, where Buhari left it and where Tinubu has brought it to after just 2 years in office. The same people are saying they want to increase their salaries. It is good for Nigerians. Let them continue to treat us like this. Let them continue to brandish corruption right before our eyes. Maybe it will get to a point where Nigerians will say enough is enough. And Mercy Oyidia here says, I wonder what they are going to do with the increase. Mad thieves. They really don't have anything to do with it. They just want to ensure that they show Nigerians that we can do and undo. What a catastrophe. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that update from the International Summit in Japan began making the rounds. Look at how the papers reported it. Embarrassment as Nigeria's delegation fails to show up at International Summit in Japan, attended by Tinubu. The co-founder of Innovation Hub, Idris Ayo Bello, has raised concerns over Nigeria's poor representation at the ongoing Tokyo International Conference on African Development in Japan, lamenting that the country's booth was left unmanned despite official delegations attending the event. Bello, who shared his experience on X, said he was disheartened to find Nigeria's stand empty while other countries showcased their economic potential. Feeling compelled to salvage the country's image, Bello said he informally assumed the role of an honorary consul, taking charge of the Nigerian stand to engage curious visitors. He said for hours he fielded diverse questions from international delegates and investors ranging from agriculture and real estate to oil and gas, manufacturing, and even fashion. Bello stated, "I hate to show negative things about Nigeria, but it is sad that Nigeria is the only unmanned booth at the TICA D9 in Japan, upon all the folks who probably got ESTA code for coming to Japan. So ashamed, I have now designated myself as honorary consul and taken over the booth to engage visitors." It's been a few hours now fielding questions and inquiries on all topics under the sun, from crops to real estate to wigs to chemicals on LNG to sports. Thank God for residual knowledge from the life of an Afropreneur. Even had to do an interview with Nikkei Asia on why Nigeria is the choice partner for Japan in the light of the Trump administration's trade wars. He added, last Wednesday, the State House announced that Bola Tinubu would depart Abuja on Thursday, August 14, for a two-nation trip to Japan and Brazil. In Japan, Tinubu will attend the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development in the city of Yokohama from August 20 to 22, the statement said. And he actually attended the international summit because as we speak, he is in Japan. But other countries came out to man their booth, to showcase what they have to the world. And it is what you have showcased that your president is going to round up and speak about in his presentation. Now, the Nigerian booth was left unmanned. And it was so disgraceful to the point that a Nigerian who just came around to watch what was happening had to go and take over the booth. These are the same people that will receive heavy millions. They will tell us that they are going out there to attract investor. Which investor is mad to come to a country that had its booth empty when other countries' booths were filled up with delegates showcasing what they had for the world? This is disgraceful to say the least. This is humiliating. And by tomorrow, Tinubu will come and sit down and say he wants to give a speech that was just cooked up by Bayo Ononuga and Sunday Dare, when you showcased nothing in your booth. And you may want to ask, what happened to the delegates? People that may have been paid heavy sums. I am telling you, these people are Owambe people. They may be somewhere throwing a party, because whenever they travel out, this entire government thing is seen as party time for them, to just party and take drugs. Those people may be high somewhere. They will even forget why they came to Japan. They must have slept off somewhere because they don't care about anything. Governance is a joke to them. What a disaster. And Stephen here says, this is beyond embarrassing, but not surprising considering Tinubu's record since hijacking power in 2023. It is consistently inconsistent. Incompetence and nepotism is always a feature in this regime. May Nigeria receive sense and defend their votes in 2027. And Idara here says, when you have a bunch of ignorant criminals who lack discipline as students or workers or employers, you get an admin without professional competence or competence in general. I am telling you, the mistakes are just too numerous for this regime. And Idris here says, the whole delegation got high on drugs and forgot what they came for. This is what happens when a drug lord hijacks power. What a shame. This may sound funny, but I'm telling you, those guys must have got high on drugs after doing their Owambe and taking alcohol. they will just fall asleep, all of them. And Issa Sodiq Ishola here says, no sane and sensible Nigeria wants to be seen parading themselves with the most heartless president who rules with cruel policies that continues to drag many Nigerians into poverty lines. No meaningful achievement except accumulation of revenue shared between T-Pain and cronies. What a disaster. And Ugochi angrily here says, but for heaven's sake, why would it happen that a booth in such an avenue is empty? Just why? If we no get waiting to talk, just drop idiots there and let them look now. Waiting, it is such a shame. And Inioluwa here says, shameless country, as we don't have anything to showcase. This is beyond shameless. I am shocked. At this level, these guys cannot just do anything right. When they went to Italy for the Pope's inauguration, we saw a lot of misbehaviors there. Anywhere they travel to, just for Bayo Ononuga to report the right thing on Tinubu's handle is a problem. On his own handle, he will upload videos. Later, he will delete them because they are just full of mistakes. It shows clearly that they are not ready for governance at all, because it is still the same mistakes that you see when they take decisions about the economy. Somebody who cannot even do simple things. Dot simple I's and cross simple T's. How can you trust such a person to make macroeconomic decisions for over 200 million people? And you have seen where that risk has landed Nigerians. We have become the poverty capital of the world. Out of school children, the number increasing daily. More than 161 million Nigerians don't know where the next meal will come from, and insecurity is widespread. This situation can only be remedied if Nigerians can come together, keep their sentiments aside, and get the APC out of power. But until then, make I still enter town, make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because now because of una, I dey here. So don't go away. Don't go away.